because we need to talk about this. This is serious. All right, guys. Google Hangouts is set up. I don't have a phone number. What I'm going to try to do, if you are listening to me on Spreaker Live right now, um, there is a chat box that I do have set up. That should be in right now. Let me see. Um, um, on, on here. All right, guys. I sent that message out to the Spreaker crew out there. I'm also on Google Hangouts right now. Uh, Surprisingly, I don't have a picture of me. Don't plan on inviting anybody, but you want to be invited, let me know through the chat line here on Spreaker.com under DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start the show here because we got a lot to talk about. I want to start off first um, saying a prayer to the victim of the families and the victims and the injured as well. Um, Lord, as I talk about the tragedy that happened in Charlottesville yesterday, I want to take the time to pray for the victims uh, and their families, and hopefully that you know at some point, that something better will come out of all of this mess, and I'll be able to heal them. And praying for not only just the victims, but for the city and the town of Charlottesville, and even praying for those uh, who are downright racist. Maybe one day they can uh, repent for all the evil that they do. Lord, in your name we pray. Amen. Um, there was something that should have been avoided. That tragedy was an avoidable tragedy. Um, and personally, I think Trump, based on what he said, didn't say enough, and likely he's not going to do enough because he don't give a damn. That's the bad part about it. The other thing is, I wanted to talk about racism in the NFL. This is a lot to do with the mess going on with Kaepernick, Michael Vick, the comments Michael Vick said, although I don't really care too much about what he said about as far as Kaepernick because I ain't think about him on that. And whether we should boycott or not. And I'm gonna be honest. I'll I'll tell you what. Let me go ahead and get started because it's just some of these things are on my mind. And I'm also going to talk about briefly talk about the Nutrisystem because I did say I was going to do hangouts about that as well. For all you Nutrisystem people, you are welcome to join this broadcast as well. All right, guys. Let's get started with the show. Yo, it's your boy, your DJ Wolf here, live in the studio, bring you the best contents of the Spreaker channel, baby. Oh yeah, it's DJ Wolf. On and popping live, baby. Live. All the way live. Don't even have to walk. Don't even have to drive. This is your boy DJ Wolf here telling you to stay positive, stay focused, everybody. Because you have a shot at stardom like anybody else in this country. So don't let one monkey or anybody stop the show for you. It's on and popping. Let's get this show rocking here. It's the DJ Wolf Show live, coming your way live, all the way live. Tell them, announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the DJ Wolf Show. In progress right now. DJ Wolf Live on For All to Hear TV and Spreaker. The best content, thought-provoking, honest, meaningful conversations with your host, the one and only. Here he is. Live, your boy, the one and only, the great one, the live one, the one and only on DJ Wolf Live. Here live, your boy, to Hear TV the one and only on YouTube and Spreaker Live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from the DMV and around the world, baby. It's the one and only. Here we go. The D, the J. Wolf, 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 wolf. Here we go. Wolf, wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live on DJ Wolf Live. It's the one and only DJ Wolf. Here's DJ Wolf.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf here. I'm back. I hadn't done a podcast in a few weeks. It's been a while. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I have been doing the daily podcast every day. None of them have been live, but I've done them and pushed them out at earlier time. So, just wanted to let me go ahead and kill this noise right quick. I wanted to talk about this tragedy because it was heavy on my mind all weekend. It was heavy on my mind Friday night when I saw those guys bring those sticks, lighted up sticks. You know what they were using, like they did back in the medieval time, wherever that was. Well, anyway, because they started this rally Friday night, and they in turn was ready to get nasty. It was thousands down here, and it was in Charlottesville, not far from where I usually to have my annual family resort trip at, not far from there. I can talk about experiencing racial hate from a personal experience. There was Cleveland started busing, pushed out their busing program in the late 70s. All right. I was one of the first kids in the city to be bused, or was among the first thousands of kids to be bused across town in Cleveland during that era. There was a guy named Leftwich who came from Boston. And of course, he didn't do much at the time. It was like circa 1974, 75. I'll never forget that. And he started busing in Boston. And I don't recall all of what happened. All I know is that he came there a couple of years, did some little implementations, didn't do shit, left. So I guess they got somebody else involved with the bus and desegregation and all that. You know, considering I was the first generation of kids to be bused in the city of Cleveland, during that era because the schools were very much segregated during my earlier years of school. Black kids on the east side going to school, white kids on the west side going to school together. Very segregated. It was a long racial divide at the time. So I got bused across town to a school called Thomas Jefferson Middle School. I don't know if it's still there, and that was old school when I went there. Um, and it was off. I think it was 25th or somewhere along that line, somewhere. I forgot where it was. But it was over on the west side, across town. And I never really hung around the west side much until then. I know my dad used to work for a salt mine down there on the west side, like around West Third. So somewhere along that. So well, anyway, um, and I got off the bus one day. I actually was late. Me and another guy was late. We were late going to school because we both missed the school bus. And of course, once you miss the school bus, you got to catch the bus across town. I just happened to have enough money to do just that at the time. So went ahead, caught the bus. Well, we both caught the bus. Good thing I actually did catch up with somebody. So they dropped us off about a block past the school exit or the street where the school was. And when they dropped us off, we got off the bus, and lo and behold, where were we standing at? In front of a white power place. Yeah, a white power place. Here I am, 14, 15 years old. I think, I don't know, I was 79. Yeah, I was 79. Damn. I must be getting on. I remember how old I was when I got out of school. I was about 14, maybe 15 years old, I think, something like that, yeah. Yeah, because I was 70, 79. And I looked at it. I was like, oh shit. I said, dude, do you know where the hell he just dropped us off at? Yeah, it's a white power place. Fortunately, it was closed. And the school was right around the corner from that white power place. At the time when I found out about that, there were no protests. There were no demonstrations. Okay, there were. I take that, but there were. I think there was a small. There was a demonstration about us being bust over there, but I didn't hear much about it. But the busing happened at the time. Well, one day there was this white boy and this black girl got into an argument. We were in study hall. Well, actually, the detention, I think, because I think I was late. I think it was right around the same time. And I think I got detention because I was late for school that day. Matter of fact, it was the same day. This is the weird part. And they got into an argument. They almost got to blows. And of course, they were calling each other, racial overtones and all of that. So next thing I know, this fat white boy went outside. There was a school bus sitting in front of school. No bullshit. He threw a bowling ball at the school bus. Yeah, that's what I heard. Well, there was some tension going on in this neighborhood the same day. Uh, Not only that, from what I remember, the school bus, somehow or another, somebody forced the school bus into a house. Fortunately, no one got injured, as far as I know. And it was so bad, the tension was so bad, they had to call out the SWAT team. I was over there that time. Matter of fact, it was such a big deal, it made Jet magazine. I read it 2 weeks later. Yeah. Here's the funny thing about that. It didn't get any national coverage from what I recall. I got local coverage. It never got any real national coverage about that. I don't recall much being said about it from the local NAACP or the national NAACP or anything. But I guess because it didn't turn out tragic, fortunately, it didn't. Thank God. You know, my sister was bused to a school across town called Wilbur Wright. Um, and there wasn't a, from my understanding, and I talked to her about it, they didn't have that mess going on over there. They did over where I was. And I think because the area was really, it was a race, they were racially, uh, they were, it was a racist area anyway in that side of town where I was at. I'm just glad that it wasn't my sister over in that area, it was me, because then it'd been a problem. But nevertheless, um, I learned from that black and white were a lot more separate than I thought. Now, this is coming from a guy who actually was on a program called Welcome. And those of you from Cleveland, from my hometown, know about the Welcome Project. The Welcome Project was supposed to bring all the races together, and that's what during the time of the desegregation. In a way, it was kind of successful later on because one of my classmates, who was I think she was a Mexican American, I ran to her years ago at a class reunion. We had a great time. But anyway, um, it's really a shame that in 2017 we're still dealing with the same shit. Now, the mess that was involved with me happened 37 years ago. Okay. Yeah. Some 37 years ago. This year. Sure did. And I didn't think almost 4 years later I'd be talking about this mess, this kind of mess going on right now. You know. So yesterday I heard there was some incidents was going on down here in the DMV, uh, in Charlottesville, which is near the University of Virginia campus, and not far from where I actually we used to do our family vacations at, uh, which is based about probably about 2 hours away from the district, somewhere along that line. Anyway, so the tensions they got really high. You had a bunch of neo-Nazi parties. It was like hundreds of them, maybe thousands. I don't know. It was quite a few people. There was representatives from the Black Lives Matter movement and other organizations that were counter protesting it. And there were some incidents that happened where people were injured. And then, sometime that afternoon, there was a car. I guess we were going. They were going. It was people were marching to protest, and there was this stupid motherfucker. I had to go out my language here. It's the stupid motherfucker. Now I'm gonna say it. Yeah, he was a stupid motherfucker. Decided, you know what? I don't like these people, and he took his car and he rammed it into his other car and injured several people, and unfortunately killed a young woman. Now, in a separate tragedy that happened right in the area, uh, two state troopers also got killed. Here's my thing, man. When was the hate ever stop, man? And then this would really trip me out. These people talking about this is our country. We want to take it back because Trump. Because Trump said it was okay to do that. Can't you think for yourself? Think about the reason, and I'm gonna get a little on the religion side here too. Think about the reason God made this earth. He didn't make it just for white people. He made it for black people, brown people, yellow people, red people, purple people. You know, it's called the Rainbow Coalition, so to speak. Using a reference from Jesse Jackson. This earth was not made for just white people. Y'all don't get it. And you know what? You don't start getting it, boy. Y'all, boy, I tell you, y'all for the wake up call because It makes no sense for you to even think that way. In lies the problem. So you want to stereotype black people saying, "Oh, all black people this and all black people that." Now, mind you, I know not all white people are like this. Not all white people are racist, and not all black people are thugs. But the mindset wants to control who's this and who's that. You know, that's like, you got, you know, racists who wants to say that Mexicans are wetbacks, Asians got slanted eyes, Indians are savages, black people are thugs. You want to categorize every race that's not like that's not white and control the narrative about who they are instead of who they really are. In lies the problem. Just like the NFL, Kaepernick did nothing wrong. Yeah, I'm saying it. Colin Kaepernick did not do a damn thing wrong. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to say it. It's the truth. He didn't do anything wrong. The only thing he did was take a knee. The problem is several other players did not want to co-sign on it and do the same thing. They don't want to lose them butter biscuits, if you know what I mean. Let's be honest about that. We have to be honest and have an open dialogue about racism in this country. Now, I'm going to tell you what Donald Trump would have reportedly said from the local news website based on the story. It said after a vehicle plowed into a crowd of counter protesters at a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, Saturday, President Donald Trump, I'm not going to call him, I'm just going to read what it said. Trump condemned, quote, this egregious display of bigotry, hate, and violence on many sides. Now, I already know what he means by on many sides. He's already trying to say, well, there's racism on white side, racism on black side. Dude, you know whose side this motherfucker's on. You know. So don't come up with that bullshit. Okay? Let's be honest. Racism was not created by African Americans. We didn't create that shit. Okay? White people did. That's a known fact. And I'm not being maliciously militant or anything like that. I'm being totally honest. This show and this program and my podcast and my YouTube channel is about having honest conversations. The honest truth is we didn't create racism. We didn't start the fire. Remember? Like that song from Billy Joe, we didn't start the fire. Okay? Let's be honest. So don't sit there and pretend like you don't know who started what. Bitch. All right. Boy. And here's the thing, though. The state declared a state of emergency yesterday as a result of the violence. Now, when I saw the video footage of that car running into that crowd, I didn't see one police officer there. Matter of fact, the car ran into the crowd, backed the fuck away, back up. Didn't see not one police car after his ass. Didn't see one cop shoot him. Nothing. You know? Not to say the cops weren't there, but they didn't look like they were around. Some reason, and I noticed that when it comes to these rallies, especially when the white nationalist rallies, you almost never see any cops around. Interesting. Make you wonder who's really involved in these rallies, don't it? Okay. Interesting. But this is what this fool said. He said, we condemn this in the strongest possible terms. This is egregious display of bigotry, hatred, and violence on many sides. On many sides. It's been going on for a long time in our country. No shit, motherfucker. And you sit there and breeded this shit. Now I know some people on YouTube, yeah, and I should call your asses out, talking about it's Obama's fault. No, motherfuckers, it wasn't Obama's goddamn fault. Obama did not create this bullshit of hate. Okay, this hate was going on long before he got here. All right, and it's going on now, long as since he left. You know, it was going on during the whole 8 years he was in office. Now, don't get me wrong. There's things he could have spoke out about that. I'll say that. And he kept real silent about it. So did his wife. All right. But the truth is, you can't sit there and say it was Obama's fault. No. This mess is going on now as a result of Trump's hatred. No. Now, let's be honest about that. Trump's whole campaign was about hatred. He's a hate monger. And I'm going to be honest about it. He is. He's a hateful person. He really is. He's all about himself. He doesn't give a shit about people of color in this country. He don't. He honestly don't. And that's a fact. You know? But he doesn't want to call out. He doesn't. He in his comments that I've seen him read and what I heard and what I've seen him say, he actually does not call out those white supremacists. Not by name, not by any term. But he wants to say it's everybody is bigoted. No. You know who's doing what. Stop the bullshit, man. Stop the fucking bullshit. And this is the other thing that tripped me out. Okay, I'm gonna read you a little rest of what he said. He said they said in his remarks, Trump also called for the swift restoration of law and order and for Americans to set aside their differences. How come he didn't have a state union address about that? You know, if you really cared about what the fuck is going on in this country, man, particularly when it comes to this bullshit, the racial tension that you created the last 2 years, you would have said something about it in a way that would have brought everybody together. But you don't give a damn about that. Okay. Now he also said, quote saying, we want to study it and we want to see what happens. I mean, I'm sorry, it says, we want to study it and we want to see what we're doing wrong as a country where things like this can happen. Really? Now, all that bullshit you talked about, those rallies where you actually were denouncing black people who were there, even black people who supported you, you know, and you got a nerve to say, we want to study it and we want to see what we're doing wrong as a country where things like this can happen. Let's start with your ass. You know, you ain't been denouncing anybody of white origin who's doing this shit ever. I ain't yet to hear you do it. You got one of them on your fucking payroll. Steve Bannon. You know, I'm just tired of the fact that people in this country have not grown up to be adults. And then you're teaching your kids the same bullshit. That's what really pisses me off. You're teaching your kids the very things that you claim are values of moral values. They're not moral values. They're not even religious moral values. That's even worse. You know? Nobody cares about that. You know? Only thing you care about is your ideology that this was your country first. Yeah. I'm going to tell you right from. Black people, we got to wake up. We have to wake up. Seriously. We have to sit there and start building our own businesses, our own type of jobs in our own communities. Because gentrification is happening. You know, because I'm telling you right now, until we start building and bonding together and stop fighting each other, gentrification is going to continue to go on full steam ahead. I'm telling you, it's already happening in DC. It's already happening in New York, Chicago, LA, and my hometown, Cleveland. That's going to happen in the suburbs of Cleveland too, because I can see it happening. I already heard stories about it. It's coming. It's coming. Until we learn how to build our own stuff and our own resources together and stop this infighting and pettiness among our own within our own communities, gentrification is coming. It's already here, but it's definitely coming. It's coming to a town near you. You know, um, it's it's ridiculous. Like it's like they say about Harlem. Harlem. I've been through Harlem. In Harlem, you know who own by a portion of good portion of those buildings? White people. White people moving in there. It's a parts of New Orleans like that now too. Yeah. They said I heard white people start moving certain parts of a Ninth Ward. I've heard that. You know, I know in my old neighborhood, Cleveland, around Glenville area, where I grew up at, there's white people. And I was just there back in April. And I ain't gonna lie, I usually might see one white person here there every blue moon when I'm up there. I saw like 5, 6, 7, 8 white people I was up there this time. That's the most I've seen since I lived there. And that's just on my street. You know, white people come up and buying that land cheap, on the cheap, for real. You know, one of the things that we have that with us, we don't know how to play the game when it comes to trying to pinch pennies because that's what they do. I'm telling you, that's what they do. They pinch pennies on stuff and build off of the pennies they save. We don't do that. Every penny we get, we spend. Every penny they get, they save. Let me go on talk about the NFL right quick because I'm gonna tie it all in. Here we go. Give me a second. I'm gonna give me some water right quick, and yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna start my music again while I'm doing this.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna talk about the NFL now. Now, with the NFL here, the NFL here. Okay. Colin Kaepernick. My understanding, uh, there's a bunch of people who want that I've heard on social media. They're talking for the boycott of the NFL until Kaepernick gets picked up by another NFL team. I've heard reports that Kaepernick actually got out of his contract, or something I heard. I don't know, but where I don't know, he wanted to be released or something along that line. But here's my thing. I don't think it's a good idea to protest the NFL to get this guy's job back. Granted, he should get another shot. It's not really up to us to try to get his job back. It's up to him to get his job back. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, he's the one that's gonna have to perform. Now, let's be honest. I thought it was messed up that that the NFL was blacklisting him because of his protest, which was a silent protest. He did nothing wrong. He got on his knee. That was it. But then white be like, oh, well, he didn't say stand up for the national anthem now, man. But woo-hoo. A lot of people don't know the national anthem it was actually written by a known racist, Francis Scott Key. He was a racist. And I understand, I think he was a slave owner too, if I'm not mistaken. But that's another whole story. But he was in protest of the mess that was going on, has been going on for several years, of our black men being gunned down by officers. Because this has been happening. Now, that hasn't been, some cases are justified. I ain't gonna lie. And the reason why I say that, because there was a case I saw where a cop went up to try to stop this guy, and he had pointed his taser at him. He said, "Look, you don't stand down. I'm gonna hit you with my taser." The brother walking around on the phone, he took his gun out and shot the cop several times. Now at that point, you would have to fire back on him. And I don't condone violence, but in that case, the cop, he was trying his best not to have to use deadly force on him. And I don't condone it. I don't condone violence in any manner. But if you're a cop, and let's be real, a cop's job is a very dangerous job. And some of y'all people, man, for real, when they say stand down, stand down. Don't play that game, man. Because that's a game you may not win. You know what happens when last time I got stopped by a cop a couple months ago on a traffic violation. Stupid traffic violation. That's another story I talked about before. And the first thing I did before we even got to my car, I slowly took out my wallet, put it on the dashboard. Now, my registration was in my glove compartment. I told him, I said, dude, let me just slowly take it out. You know what he did? He took my license and ran a check. That's a smart move. That's what cops should do. If he's going to let you do one thing, let him go ahead and say, let me go ahead and take your license while you look for that. Usually you should have both of them out. That was my fault about the registration. But I'm gonna tell you, he took a long time. This cop he was looking up and down for anything I did. He came back 20 minutes later. Well, sorry, sir, I couldn't find any. He said, you look like you got a good record because I couldn't find anything on you. Yeah, because you were looking all over the place for anything I did. And he took a long time. I said, damn, if you couldn't find it, then they ain't do shit. That's the only problem I had with this guy. He took forever because he was just looking to find something on me. Now, that's a downright fact. It was like he was checking and double checking and triple checking because it's 20 minutes. I mean, seriously, 20 minutes. It does not take you that long in a database to find out about what somebody did if they did something. Because if you did, it pop up by pop, and it didn't. He was just looking to find the first thing he could find on me just so he could say, I busted this nigga. He did. Usually cops don't take that long. If they can't find nothing on you more than 5 minutes, they leave you alone. That's the longest a cop has ever took to try to look up on anything I did. I guess basically because of what I had on and what I was driving. He must have been doing something. He was, really, it was just really. I mean, that's what these motherfuckers do. Let's be honest about that. He took forever to try to find something. I couldn't find anything. 20 minutes to find out that there was nothing on me. Come on. He was looking for anything on me. Anything that said red flag. Couldn't find Jack. And usually about 5 minutes, they usually just, hey, they just go ahead and give you a ticket or whatever. But he took a long time. I've never had a cop take that long to try to look up on the record on me ever that long because he was looking for something. Mm-hmm. He figured, usually if you're white, they don't take that long. No way. But black, they take a long time. I said, that's a long time. But I've never had a cop take that long looking up anything on me. But he definitely was trying to find something. He really was. It's like, dude, my license is in the system. He was just looking. He probably was looking like on a national database just to see if he could find anything on me. I'm like, dude, you can't find shit on me. Because first thing he said, well, you must got a clean record. Yeah. You took forever looking all over the country, didn't you? But what I'm saying is, man, Anything you do as an African American man, I ain't talking about women, African American male, they're gonna scrutinize you. Whether you did something wrong or whether you ain't doing nothing at all. That's a known fact. This country needs to grow up. This country is still very immature when it comes to race relations, and it always has been. You know, it's all about values and this and that. But the thing of it is, a lot of the things that's happening in our communities, and I will say, is in part from racism. Look, economics is the number one thing. Why we still in the boat that we're in now? You know, it has a big to do factor on that. Huge factor. You know, and the bad part about it is we've accepted some of that. We have. We've accepted bad eating habits. We accepted people running over our neighborhoods. We accepted the fact that we don't like to go to school. Now I'm telling you, now this is how I'm going to break that down for you a minute. I decided to go back to school uh, years ago. Myself, I went back in the late '90s, and my son at the time was around 4.5. I went 3 days a week for 2 years, man. And it hurt my heart because I didn't get to spend time with my kid. You know, I mean, I spent time with my kid. I saw him every night, but my wife was at the time was telling me that he actually literally tried to wait up as long as he could for me, man. And it still break my heart, man. But I'm glad that the almost 2.5 years that I spent in school, well, about 2 years actually, I was able to get through it, get to it, and do it. And now he's thriving as a young man, on doing his own thing, which I'm glad of. All of that was worth it in the long run, you know. But really, what really kind of hurts me is a lot of our brothers and sisters don't think education is the key. Education is the number one key. I'm telling you right now, it's the key to everything. Whether you're starting a business or working for a business, it's the key to everything. Because once you get that education, once you get that knowledge base, once you get that thing, well, you can you can take it a long way. I'm gonna tell you right in front. I probably wouldn't be doing a podcast had I not known I've had the stuff that I'm doing had I not went back to school. To be honest, I'm glad to be a podcaster. I think it's the best thing that's ever happened for social media because guys like me can actually get things off the chest and talk to other people who also have things on their chest and work out the differences. You know, I'm at to a point I'm actually thinking about. I don't even know why I'm saying that. I was thinking about bringing back Blog Talk Radio, but I think the only way I think I would legitimately bring back Blog Talk Radio if I start one of those GoFundMe type accounts. That's the only way I would bring it back. But I'd have to generate enough people who are serious about listening to my show and give me feedback before I even think about doing that. And I want to do it, but I need your input. And that definitely goes for you Spreaker listeners out there. You know, and I appreciate you listening, but I definitely need your support. Not necessarily a monetary support, although for Blog Talk Radio, it would absolutely help. I mean, maybe in a few months, next 6 months, I may look back at getting Blog Talk Radio because I want to actually be able to take calls again. I could still do it with Skype, but Skype is another story. But my thing is, we have to keep up the good fight to stay afloat. We have to, because that's all, that's how we survive, you know. But we gotta think about doing common sense things so we won't get, fall back by trying to catch up after you fall back, by getting yourself together, you know. Stop going for these pitfalls. That's our problem. We get into these pitfalls way too much. Alcoholism, drugs, having multiple children. Now we're like kids you can't afford to take care of. I mean, let's be honest about that. Let's have an honest dialogue about that kind of stuff and say, look, I don't want my kids to go through those pitfalls. I vow to raise my kids better than the way I was raised, or better than my outcome. We have to be committed to our families a lot better than what we're doing. Because otherwise, we're going to still continue to face the same type of racism and bullshit we've been facing 50 years ago, and 50 years later, and 50 years from now. Bottom line. Bottom line. All right, guys. Let me go ahead and talk about tone it down a little bit. I'm going to talk about the Nutrisystem deal here. I'm going to take this little short break and get this little, hold on a second. I'm trying to think of something. Hold on. Get this little interlude of music here right quick. Here we go.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey.
Hey, this is Baby Girl on the DJ Wolf Show. You ain't heard me in a while. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get a gossip thing going real soon. Well, let me talk about Usher. Now, I know damn well Usher ain't plowing no big old 400-pound bitch. She's just too damn big. There's no way. Now, me, I'm a little skinny mini, but damn. Really? I know Usher could do better than that. I think he has, but just saying. She big old hefty trash can bitch. Who the hell wanna hit that? Really? Talking about, I'm looking out for my health. Oh, what life? What planet? Where? You out your damn mind. You out your damn mind. Talking about, I'm looking out for my health. You ain't looked out for your health since your mama wiped your ass at birth. Talking about, look up. Man, please. This Baby Girl. I just want to get my 2 cents in on that. All right. Back to DJ Wolf.
All right, baby girl. Enough of your little chit chat here. I appreciate it. But anyway, again, I wanted to talk about something else here. We were talking about Nutrisystem. I want to switch gears on this. Nutrisystem. I wasn't going to talk about it on this podcast. But I'll briefly talk about it and I'm out. Nutrisystem has worked for me. I had already was on a self-imposed diet earlier this year. I lost about 15 pounds. I weighed in at 288. Largest I've ever been. Actually, I've been a little larger, about 289, but I ain't gonna lie, people, I don't ever want to get that big again. Ever. Never, never. For real. And I've learned in 3 months never to eat like that again. For real. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Um, it's too much on your heart. It's too much on your body. It affects your body immensely too. Um, I don't ever want to get that big again. I really don't. Well, I decided in May to get on Nutrisystem, and I've been on it for the last 3 months, and it's worked out pretty good. I lost an additional 17 pounds, which put me 32 pounds lower than I've been this year. So I lost 32 pounds this year. 10 years, about 10 years ago, I lost 40 pounds in 2 months, and that was without Nutrisystem. Anything else? The only thing I think I did was what was the name of that thing I used to do? I may start back. Uh, Hydroxycut. I remember I was on Hydroxycut. I was losing 5 pounds a week. You know, I may get back on. I don't know if I am not. But I found another diet that my wife's on. Then I might switch to her plan because she lost. She just told me that she lost 25 pounds. I'm like, damn. She lost more weight than I did. We started at the same time. Now I'm not knocking Nutrisystem. Nutrisystem. I will say this: the food is great. I had what did I have today? I had it was mushroom risotto. Risotto. It was good. For lunch I had was a four cheese. No, it was pepperoni. It was pepperoni cheese melt. It was good. And I had snack. I had popcorn, and I had a fruit cup. So, and breakfast I had, I think, was a turkey ham, cheese. Uh, was what do you call it? Muffin. Anyway, it was good. But they use the meal's really good. I mean, they're not. I know people think, well, it's that rabbit food. No, it's not even close to it. It's really good food. It's not bland either. That's the killer part. It's not even bland. The food have real taste to it, and you actually can lose the weight. But you have to really stick to the plan. When they tell you to eat so many meals a day, that's all you need to eat. Now, 5 meals. You break it down. You don't eat the meals on one time. Like if you eat a meal for lunch, or maybe with side vegetables or something like that, you don't go out there and eat the snack right behind it, like right after, immediately after. You wait, give it a couple hours, let your food digest, let it burn the calories, then you eat a snack. That's how it works. I'm telling you, real talk. What mess up a lot of people with Nutrisystems, they get extra hungry, they don't drink water, and then sometimes a lot of times they like to cheat. They ain't gonna work like that. I'm living proof here to tell you, you can lose the weight. And it does work. It's a real plan. I'm living testimony of that. I lost 17 pounds on Nutrisystem in 2 months just by following instructions. And math, and you do have to put some exercise into it, people. One of the exercises you can do, and I did it, and I was going to start doing it. I didn't even do it yesterday. I should do it next week. Walk. Walking burns calories. Guarantee it. Oh yeah, that's the other thing about calories. Speaking of calories, you kind of have to restrict yourself on a diet too. Drink plenty of water. Follow instructions on your meal plan with Nutrisystem, and get a regimen of exercise at least 4 to 5 times out of the week. 30 minutes a day, even if it's just walking. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. The first 2 months of Nutrisystem, that's pretty much all I did was walk. And I walked one day after the weekend for about an hour and a half and lost weight. I did it. It does work, but you got to put your mindset to it. and you gotta stick to the diet, and you have to have the willpower. But it does work, and you gotta drink plenty of water. They definitely recommend 64 ounces of water per day, and it does work. It keeps you full, keeps you from the additional cravings and stuff that you don't need. The only problem that I have with Nutrisystem, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you, is the price. The price is too high, at least for me, because I started out at the plan that they had. It was kind of reasonable, sort of, and then I got a lot of food too. Then the next month they went up by about $50, and I complained to them about that. I said, "Wait a minute, how you gonna have one price one minute and then jump up $50 next month? Come on!" And I got the meals, got a lot of food. Then the third month, which was this month, about less than 2 weeks ago, I got the new food. Then all of a sudden, I'm not kidding. And me, well, I don't know if it's me or what, but I know the frozen foods wasn't as much as it used to be. I don't know what that was about. Maybe because I to certain foods I didn't order something. I don't know. But anyway, and they still charged me a good amount. I was like, I don't know about y'all. So I told the guy, and they're really nice people. Don't get me wrong, because the customer service is excellent. I'll give them that. Their customer service, they don't play around with you. They get you straight. You know, they'll square you away. They really will. But I do recommend it. The only problem I had was the price. The food's good. The food's excellent. I can't even complain about it. Real talk. I can't complain about the food at all. The food was on par with anything I've eaten anyplace else. It really is. And it's really good meals. So if you're looking for something that'll help you lose the weight, and they give you a lot of food. That's the other thing. They give you a lot of food. You might in some cases I usually find myself a week over the original plan. The first month wasn't like that though. But the second month, I mean, I found I had like a week and a half left of food, and I was like, wow. You know, there was one thing I didn't like, and it was the herbal pizza. The pizza I did not like that pizza. I had it one time before, it sucked. But everything else was good. I mean, pretty much everything else I had. But that one pack of that box of that pizza, and after that, I said, you know what? They got this thing called Uniquely Yours, which you can actually go ahead and randomly choose what you want, and that's what I did. And I got rid of it the second month. Second month, I didn't get it. I didn't get that pizza anymore. I didn't even want it. I threw it away. I did not like it. So, but everything else, it's on par. I will say that. So, but like I said again, for a great meal package that helps you lose weight and control what you're eating, as well as monitoring your calories, because the calories you got to monitor too. If you don't monitor your calories with this plan, like any other plan, because you can still eat some regular foods with it, depends on how you eating it, but you have to monitor your calories. You have to, have a set goals. One of the goals that I did was say I'm not going to go over 1,500 calories. Now, most men can go over 2,000, just maybe a little bit over. I know one guy I know went 2,200, and it didn't do him a bit of damn good. And I kept up. I said, dude, you might want to tone it down a little bit to 18. He went to 1,800. And he's still going to lose weight. And then he went to 15, just like I did, and he started losing weight. So. But it does work. I'm not going to lie. It does work. So, but I'm going to finish mine out to that right to the end of the month, and I'm going to switch over to a different plan my wife's on. Works better than the one. I mean, it works good. Let's put it like that. Not to say the Nutrisystem don't work, but hers, I was like, wow. Now I'll inform you guys about that one when I get started on that next month. Because I need to do that before the holiday season come in, because I know what's going to happen. Be back eating all that, holiday food, and like, you don't eat all that. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I'm finding myself now, I have more of a craving for healthier foods. Like, I went to go work out Friday night, and before I went home, I went to stop at the local giant store, and got me a salad. Made my salad. That salad was so good too, man. I tore that salad up. I had a craving for salad. I didn't have a craving for burgers or fried chicken or French fries or anything like that. I had a craving for a salad. Ain't that something? A salad. That's the only thing I had a craving for. Nothing else. And that's what I had for dinner on Friday night. That's all I ate. So here's to staying healthy, people. Like I said again, be wise about the things you do out here today, man, because it's crazy as hell out here. It is. It truly is. So, all right, guys. Well, I think I did enough time on here right now. Of course, questions or comments, I can be reached at for all. And it's actually, matter of fact, I posted it. For all to hear at gmail.com, for all to hear on YouTube. Of course, for all to hear on Twitter, DJ Wolf Online at yahoo.com, and DJ Wolf Live on Facebook. And also, I can be reached at for all to hear on Facebook as well. Make sure when you correspond me for all to hear, make sure you put the number 2 in for all to hear. Okay. That's FOR, number 2, HEAR, for all to hear. Or FOR, I'm sorry. It's FORALL, the number 2, HEAR, for all to hear. Okay, guys. All right. Google people, I'm gonna play this out right quick here. That's what I'm gonna do it for both. Here we go.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All right, Google people. I'm out. I'll talk to y'all, man. Love y'all. Stay true to yourselves, man. Be honest with each other, man. Let's have honest conversations. All right. Good night.